Hi folks, Rich and Jay here from Broken Arrow. How are you, mate?
Good, mate, good.
Folks, we're in the workshop today. We're doing a special customer order. You've done some fletching up for some arrows?
Yeah. I had a customer come in Monday.
Yeah.
He's just down from up north and he wanted to get some arrows made up before he heads back on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we chose some arrows out of stock that match his draw weight and draw length, all that sort of thing. Got the right spine.
You're talking about the flex that's in the arrow when you address the spine. That's fairly important, I guess.
It is, yeah. It helps to make the arrows more accurate.
Yeah.
We've set it all up for him. He's already had his own bow. He brought it down with him, so we checked his draw length. His draw weight was about 50 pound. We chose some arrows that match up in the spine for him, and then we've measured up how short he wants his arrows cut. He's got a short draw, 26-inch draw, which is fairly short for an adult. So what we've done is measured up an arrow and just given it like a ½ inch overhang past the front of the riser there, which I like.
Right.
You can cut them down to the front of the riser as a general rule, but I like to add ½ inch on just in case we want to, because once you've cut them down you can't make them any longer.
Sure,
so I'll leave them just a little bit longer to be safe in case we want to adjust something later on.
Yeah.
So he's got a special request. He's chosen his fletch colours, nice and bright. He's going to do a bit of hunting with them, so he wants to be able to find them.
Easy to find them. Sure.
You know, punches through an animal or something like that, or he misses. And what he's done is asked for different coloured nocks. He's going to keep 3 there, which I've got green nocks on, that he's going to set up with his broadheads and keep them in pristine condition, so he knows they're not damaged or anything. And the other 9 will be his practice arrows, so he can get all his sighters, and they'll cop a bit of abuse probably over the time.
Sure, absolutely.
And when he knows that he's got all his sights and everything, he'll pick out his 3 good ones. That'll all be sweet arrows, and he'll go hunting with those.
Right. That's terrific, isn't it, really? And I guess that's the benefit of dealing with a local archery shop, where you can go in and you're not just buying stock off the shelf, because like you've just explained, there's so many variables as far as the arrow's spine and the weight, the fletching, which creates
fletch size, all that sort of thing.
On the back.
Yeah.
All right, mate, do you mind if we watch you cut
so
these
I'm
up
just
and
going
put
to
them
cut them down to his length, and then put the inserts on and the points, and they'll be ready to go for him. I'll give him a call and he can pick them up.
Terrific. All right, let's have a look and see how that's done.
Here I'm going to cut the arrows on our arrow cutting saw. This has a very fine blade on it, and it's all adjustable for the sizes and everything. So I put the arrow in there, use the scale to set the measurement for where I want to cut it. Check it on one that I've measured with a tape measure, just so that double check. Cut once, check twice, cut once, as they say. So I just cut these. These are carbon arrows, so they create a bit of dust when you cut them. So we've hooked up a vacuum cleaner to extract that out, so you don't breathe in the carbon dust. So it'll be a bit noisy when I start that up. Just like I said before, he wants some inserts in the front of these and field points. He wants 100 grain points. So our tray of points does get mixed up occasionally, so I'm just making sure that the points that I pick out for him are all 100 grain. I don't want to give him an odd 80 grain point or 120 grain point mixed in with it. So I'm selecting the points, making sure they're all 100 grain. Aluminium inserts, of course, that go in the front of these like many arrows. They're a bit soft too. I like to hold these with the pliers to heat them up. We use hot melt glue to glue them into the front of the arrow, so they're a bit soft and they can crush easily. So I actually screw the field points in them to hold them. Gives me something actually to hold onto with the pliers and no risk of crushing or damaging the aluminium insert. And the next thing I do, of course, is because we've just cut those shafts, there's a bit of carbon residue inside the shaft. So I grab a little cotton bud earwig thing, a bit of methylated spirits, and just poke it up the inside of the shaft, just where that hot glue is going to go. So it goes onto a nice clean surface, and you can see how much carbon is in there. So give them all a nice swab out so that it's nice and clean. The methylated spirits will evaporate in a few seconds, so I've done all those already. And I'll just finish with these points and we'll start gluing them in. How I glue these inserts and points in. So I'll hold the point of the field tip with the pliers and just heat up the aluminium. Doesn't take long to heat up the aluminium. I've got a I forget what they call this glue. It's like a low melting point hot glue. Put a nice coating right around that insert. Just give it another little bit of heat. Put it in the shaft. Twist it around so the glue goes everywhere. Push it down and run it under some water to cool it down straight away. Clean off the residue. One tip done. All right, so I've got a few of these left to do, but what we're going to do with this, for this customer, because he's come from up north so far and he doesn't get down to the coast very often, or anywhere, any archery shop to get arrows or repairs done and all that sort of stuff, is going to throw in a couple of extra vanes for him in case he ever does, rip one off or whatever. He's got spare. Yeah, we always lose vanes. And the other thing is I'm going to write out a card with the full specs of these arrows, what length we've cut them to, like carbon to carbon length, the colour of the fletchers, how far from the end, all that sort of thing, the spine there. So if he wants more, he can just ring us up and say, this is what I got, here's all the specs, and I can make the exact same arrows again.
Oh, that's a great service.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. That's a bit of a run through on just making up some custom arrows. And, if you want to give us a call here at Nambour, the number is 5441 2889 or 55 Curry Street. Pop in and say hello. We'd love to meet you and say good day.
And if we haven't got the arrow you're after here, which we don't have a huge range, but we try and help out, we can get any brand, Eastern Carbon Express, Gold Tips, all that sort of stuff. So whatever brand of arrow you want, we can get on order and make them up for you to custom order.
No, that's wonderful. All right, thanks, mate. Ta. Bye, folks.